this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. Coldwater Creek's authenticity is embodied in every piece, embracing its confident spirit that carries through to today. Discover Coldwater Creek clothing, designed to fit your life the way you want. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh. This is Chuck over here. Say hey, Chuck.
Hey.
Chuck, I should probably slow it down, stop sounding so like a morning talk show hosty. Have you heard about the bombing in Yemen of the U.S. Embassy?
I haven't. Did that just happen?
Yeah, it happened very recently. I think the 16th, September 16th.
Wow,
like that.
I feel like a heel now.
It doesn't feel too bad. For some reason, any bombing that happens in Yemen doesn't make, the biggest news. I don't know why, because this is an Al-Qaeda bombing. And actually, it could have been a lot worse. There was a group of guys who were loaded down with explosives. Their car was just laden down with explosives, and they were going to go through the first checkpoint, blow up the gate after the first checkpoint, and then the second car was going to come through and kill anybody and everybody.
Wow.
Well, the guards at the checkpoint didn't buy the first car's story. So they opened fire and they blew up. So these guards were killed. But it alerted everybody to what was going on.
Sure.
There's a firefight between the Yemeni security around the American embassy and the second car. And eventually all the terrorists were killed.
Wow.
But I think 16 people total died. And most of those were American. Well, no, there was one American, but most of them were working at the embassy. It was a big deal. It was the first major terrorist attack on a U.S. target since September 11th, 2001.
But we haven't heard anything about it because Sarah Palin's eyeglasses are making front page news.
Her updo is capturing most of the headlines.
No wonder I didn't hear about it.
So I was reading an article in Time, and they were saying, this is the most recent clear indicator that we have a real problem with Al-Qaeda in Yemen. It's a hotbed. It's very, friendly to the West. And actually, this attack was supposedly a retaliation for Yemeni security forces staging counter-terrorist activities. And Al-Qaeda's what do you think you're doing? So it is friendly to the United States, but at the same time, it's still kind of a hotbed of Al-Qaeda activity. The thing is, we're pretty fairly entrenched in Iraq right now. I don't know if you've heard.
Right.
Yeah, we invaded in 2003, haven't left yet. Doesn't look like we're going to anytime soon. And now Afghanistan's boiling over again.
Right.
The last thing we need is another front. And Yemen doesn't sound like the kind of country we're just going to walk into and, invade, basically.
Right.
So what do you do?
Well,
what do you do when you have a hotbed of Al-Qaeda activity?
You know what I would do?
And you need surgical precision to take out as much of the guys as possible.
You know what I would do?
What?
2 words. Delta Force.
Oh, I've heard of these guys. Actually, I haven't heard of them. You know why? Because they don't officially exist.
I know. That's kind of creepy, but kind of cool.
It is. Yeah, there's. We should probably warn the listeners right now. Chuck and I will most likely devolve into some sort of weird boyhood admiration of all the sick stuff Delta Force has done over the years.
Right.
So just be forewarned. If we start tittering or get really excited or one of us takes our shirt off, don't be offended, okay?
I know. I did find myself when I was reading your article because I would say classify as anti-war. I'm not for this stuff, but when I was reading this stuff about the Delta Force, I just thought it was the coolest thing I'd ever seen.
Well, I think that's what's so cool about Delta Force is you send them in, you don't need to go to war.
Yeah, maybe
They take care of business.
Sure, maybe
Yeah.
that's what I like about it. It's
Yeah.
clean and precise and quick and little. That's kind of how it should be.
So we should probably give some background here. Delta Force is essentially, as we said, unrecognized officially by the U.S. government.
Right.
I had a lot of trouble in writing an article on them
I
because
bet.
you really have to piece everything together. There's lots of hearsay. There's no concrete evidence.
Right.
Like there's
No
no congressional
DeltaForce.com
hearing.
that you can get to.
Exactly. There is, but it was sadly disappointing and
Was it the
clearly
Chuck
run
Norris
by
movie?
some guy. No. Which, by the way, the Chuck Norris movie, Delta Force, highly inaccurate, wildly inaccurate.
I'm sure.
There was another movie he made called Invasion USA, which in that movie he much more resembled a Delta Force operator. He didn't wear a uniform. He had an Uzi. I think both of those movies, Lee Marvin was in both of them, right?
The late great Lee Marvin.
Right. Well, specifically in Delta Force, Lee Marvin's character, but also in Invasion USA as well, Lee Marvin's character was very much based on this guy named Colonel Beckwith.
Yeah.
I don't remember Colonel Beckwith's first name, do you?
Colonel.
Yeah, we'll just call him Colonel.
Yeah, I think that's how
he's
they
like
prefer it.
he's like a murderous version of Cher, Colonel.
Right.
Right. So Colonel Beckwith was this guy who basically had been over in Great Britain to train with the SAS.
Right, the British
Special Forces. Right. So he's over there. He's really impressed with this group. We have our own version of the Special Forces. It's I can't remember what it's. Special Forces Operational Detachment A, I believe. And that's our regular Special Forces, who in and of themselves are just complete and total. They're rough.
Right.
They're
Can
tough.
we say badass?
I don't think there's any way to get around it. Let's just get it out of the way right now. Delta Force
what they are.
is badass. Yes, they are most decidedly. And the Special Forces in and of themselves, these are the thinking man's arm of the Army.
Right.
They are basically inserted into enemy territory, and they identify dissenting groups against the whatever government we want to topple.
Right.
And one or two Special Forces guys assemble guerrilla armies out of these dissenting forces and create insurgencies from within. It's been done before.
Right.
That's just Special Forces. Delta Force actually draws from Special Forces.
They're not even Army. They don't even.
No.
They don't identify with any particular branch, right? Because they draw the toughest dudes out of all the branches.
Right. Yeah. And have you read Black Hawk Down or Killing Pablo?
No, I saw the movie.
Okay.
And I saw a great documentary on it too.
I saw that one too. It's excellent on an unnamed channel. The author of that book, Mark Bowden, is apparently just loved by the Delta Force because he's actually interviewed Delta Force operators, which is what they're called. They're not soldiers; they're operators.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
And they don't wear uniforms or fatigues. They shoot anything they like. Which we'll get into later, that gets certain private companies who hire Delta Force operators in trouble. But Mark Bowden put it pretty clearly. He said they are professional soldiers who hate the Army.
I know.
Which actually, really, if you think about it, that's the definition of a mercenary.
Yeah, basically.
But they're under control. They're ostensibly under the control of the U.S. military, right?
Yeah, but apparently, and this, like we say, all this is kind of
It's all
hearsay,
conjecture.
but
Yeah.
only answer to the president. And that's kind of my favorite part.
Yeah, well, that whole thing came out of their second mission. Their first mission was to guard the Pan American Games, I think, in 1978.
Right.
And that went smoothly. Nothing noteworthy happened. Maybe because the Delta Force was there.
Sure.
I don't know. Their second mission was Operation Eagle Claw. This is the hostage takeover in Iran in 1979.
Right.
2 years after Delta Force had been assembled. And this was back when Colonel Beckwith was real hands-on, and he was in there and basically like the Lee Marvin character. He's leading the charge and shooting commies and all that kind of thing.
Hey everybody, get this. LinkedIn has grown to a network of over 1 billion professionals and 130 million decision makers. And that's where it stands apart from other ad buys.
Yeah, for sure. You can target your buyers by job title, industry, company, role, seniority, skills, even company revenue, so you can stop wasting budget on the wrong audience.
Yep, that's why LinkedIn Ads generates the highest B2B ROAS of all online ad networks. Seriously, all of them.
And get this, if you spend $250 on your first campaign on LinkedIn ads, you get a free $250 credit for the next one. Just go to linkedin.com/SYSK. That's linkedin.com/SYSK. Terms and conditions apply.
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
So this is Operation Eagle Claw. They're flying in to do a strike on the American embassy that's been taken over by Iranian extremists.
Flying in what? Plain black helicopters.
Yes.
It's not like a TC's rainbow-colored island hopper on Magnum PI.
No.
It doesn't say U.S. Army.
Actually,
It doesn't say CIA.
To tell you the truth, it would probably more resemble TC's helicopter than your normal Huey. Yeah.
Sure.
They have their own aviation platoon that can get them from place to place and actually creates plausible deniability.
Right.
It could just as easily be a bunch of crazy, wealthy American businessmen bent on, patriotism,
right,
as it could be Delta Force.
Right. But Eagle Claw, I distracted you.
So Eagle Claw, they're going in, there's a helicopter crash, and they never get to actually carry out the mission. The problem is Delta Force was being commanded by traditional special forces commanders at the time.
Right.
After that, they were taken out of command.
Yep.
As I say in the article, no one has any idea whose command they were put under.
Right.
And you kind of get the impression, the more you find out about Delta Force, that they're not under anyone's command. Like I say, they answer to the president. I think that's probably about it.
Right, and no one knows where their funding comes from. I think you called it a black fund.
It is a black fund. Yes, there's some sort of appropriations that I'm sure Congress deals with every year, 2 years, whatever, and then gives X number of millions and millions of dollars to this Delta Force Black Fund, and they do whatever they like with it. And actually, in 1985, that was a banner year for getting, actual documented evidence that there is a Delta Force. Some Delta Force operators were being investigated for basically misappropriating money from that black funds. They had been deployed to, I think, Sicily for counterterrorism activity.
Right.
And before they could leave the country, they had to be cleared by the Justice Department because they were all under investigation.
Yeah.
'Cause they've been basically pilfering money from a black fund.
Right.
I mean, what do you do? How do you pilfer money from a black fund? You just put it in your pocket and walk away?
I guess so. I mean, there's got to be a money trail somehow, but nothing that, is public, obviously.
Well, also, I mean, what are you going to do? It's Delta Force. Like, hey, give us our money back. No.
Sure.
Okay, sure.
We'll come in there with a submachine gun.
Right, yeah.
Have to talk about it.
And their weaponry actually is the stuff of legends as well. Apparently, they favor Heckler and Koch tremendously. MP5s, M4s.
M4s and MP5s.
Yeah, which are pretty cool submachine guns.
Yeah, I looked them up on the internet. It's pretty cool looking.
I
don't even like guns.
No, but these
things are awesome.
Exactly. This is the heart of Delta Force. Okay, this is what Chuck just said is exactly the heart of Delta Force. He is against war, and yet he is awed by Delta Force. He doesn't even like guns, and yet he's awed by the guns that Delta Force uses. This is quintessential Delta Force.
Yeah, and part of it has to do with the fact that their operations. They have some of the names Eagle Claw and Operation Urgent Fury was one of my favorites.
What was that? Grenada or
that was
Panama?
That was Grenada, and then Panama was Operation Just Cause.
Operation Just Cause was the operation where the United States, including Special Forces, I think the Army Rangers were there. Basically, we sent a contingent of our best of the best down there to get rid of Manuel Noriega.
Right.
And
rescued a CIA guy.
Yeah, there was a CIA guy who'd been operating in Panama, basically doing a radio-free broadcast, and he'd been captured. And so Delta Force went in and I believe rescued him.
Yeah, rescued him.
And they also captured Noriega.
Right.
If it wasn't Delta Force, somebody captured Noriega because, as far as I know, he's still in a prison in Miami right now.
Well, I think they helped capture him.
Okay.
So it might have been one of those things where I have a feeling Delta Force a lot of times doesn't get the public credit for some of these things because they don't exist.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And the other impression I have is that Delta Force really doesn't care about the public credit. I think they just like to be deployed.
Right.
Whenever I think of Delta Force, they're supposedly headquartered at Fort Bragg, North Carolina,
supposedly,
which is the home of the Army Special Forces as well, and apparently it's very well funded, great training center. But when I think about Delta Force training, I just see a bunch of guys who are either bored or frustrated.
Right.
They want to be around the world, in Yemen, for example, illegally hunting down Al-Qaeda operatives and shooting them while they're unarmed.
Well, the other thing that you'll find if you were to see a Delta Force training operation is some excellent marksmen.
Yeah, this is really something. You want to tell them what the requirements are? As far as we know, again, this is conjecture, but we got this from, I think, VFW magazine. You want me to tell them their
No, I'll tell you.
Okay.
So this is reputed, of course, that Delta Force recruits must show 100% accuracy from 600 yards away.
Okay, so that's 6 football fields.
6 football fields.
You have to be able to
accuracy.
hit some target in the heart from 6 football fields away.
Right.
Where's the 90% accuracy?
90% is at 1,000 yards, so they'll give you a little bit of leeway if you're shooting from 1,000 yards away.
At 10 football fields.
Right, 10 football fields.
Now, they also, we were talking about the armaments, the weapons they like. There's a Browning 50 caliber sniper rifle.
That's a very large shell for
It's
people
enormous.
that don't know.
It is enormous. And apparently they use that for targets up to 1,750 yards.
Right. I mean, that's the kind of thing that can go through a wall, then through another wall, and through a brick wall,
right,
and then into someone's, tank,
head,
probably.
Or, yeah, sure.
And then through somebody's helmet and head.
Right.
That's
yeah.
what a 50 cal will do.
And then go out the back and wrap a Christmas present on the way.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not a friendly caliber.
Amazing, no. So,
I tell you what, though, man, if I was stuck in Grenada, if I was a journalist and I was blindfolded and potentially going to be beheaded, you know who I would want coming to visit me?
Oh, no, I realize.
Delta Force.
Sure, of course.
Nobody else.
No. And they have had some sterling operations that have made it into the media. There was a hijacked airliner in, I think, 1984.
Uh-huh.
And what country was it, Chuck?
84, was that Yemen?
If it was, then wow. Okay.
It wasn't Yemen.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Well, let's just say, okay, we'll go with a 1984 airliner hijacking. These guys, I believe, I don't know how many members were on the team. They stormed the airliner. Now, there's 4 hijackers in there.
Indonesia.
In Indonesia, right, okay. They stormed the airliner that was on the tarmac, the jet. There's 4 hijackers who had this whole plane load of hostages. Delta Force goes in there, and as far as I know, they used the 2-tap method, which Colonel Beckwith came up with.
Right.
The 2-tap method is where you put 2 bullets in the head of each target.
Right. It's not a love tap that's happening.
No. So I think I point out in the article, when you see somebody on in a movie or on TV, and they've spared some enemy that is dying, but he picks up a gun and tries to shoot, maybe kills
Die
the
Hard,
hero.
for instance.
That doesn't happen with Delta Force.
No.
You get 2 bullets in the head from a Delta Force operative, you're going down and you're not coming back.
Yeah, it's definitely a shoot first. Don't even ask questions. There are no questions.
I think this was a TWA flight or something. They stormed this flight, 2 taps to each hostage taker. Not one casualty, not one innocent casualty. As far as I know, only the 4 hijackers died.
Right. Isn't that crazy to think about this international incident and these hostages, and 8 bullets takes care of the whole thing?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's kind of cool.
I agree wholeheartely. Now, we are getting a little drooly, as I warned.
Sure.
We're pretty excited about Delta Force right now.
We want to be in Delta Force.
Kind of. Although you wouldn't know if I was.
Hey, everybody, get this. LinkedIn has grown to a network of over 1 billion professionals and 130 million decision makers. And that's where it stands apart from other ad buys.
Yeah, for sure. You can target your buyers by job title, industry, company, role, seniority, skills, even company revenue, so you can stop wasting budget on the wrong audience.
Yep, that's why LinkedIn Ads generates the highest B2B ROAS of all online ad networks. Seriously, all of them.
And get this, if you spend $250 on your first campaign on LinkedIn ads, you get a free $250 credit for the next one. Just go to linkedin.com/SYSK. That's linkedin.com/SYSK. Terms and conditions apply.
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
So there's some plenty of criticism of Delta Force. They were reputedly part of the siege of the Branch Davidians compound in Waco that went horribly awry.
Yeah,
this didn't get across in the article, but some of the sources that I read, it sounded very plausible.
Yeah, and that's definitely one of the black eyes
Definitely.
on the Clinton administration and our country as a whole, I think.
The other thing from researching this article is Clinton seemed, let me put it differently, the Delta Force was operating within the U.S. borders, which is not what's supposed to be done. The military isn't supposed to operate in the borders of the United States unless martial law has been declared.
Right. As far as police action goes.
That happened a lot under Clinton, a disproportionate amount.
Right.
That happened supposedly at Waco.
Well, actually, what I love about Waco, though, is they admitted that there were 3 Delta Force guys there, and one was supposedly an observer, which I don't know.
He was just standing there watching.
Yeah, from what I get from these guys, they're not ones to stand around and look and go, wow, you're doing a great job.
Right, exactly. patting the backs of the FBI like, way to firestorm that place. Way to go, buddy. We know for a fact that they were at the World Trade Organization Summit in Seattle in 1999. Which went horribly awry.
Yeah, they do a lot of guarding of dignitaries and
Hamid Karzai apparently is being protected by Delta Force right now.
Right.
And it's so weird. When I was researching this again, I saw photos of Karzai with guys that were identified as Delta Force operators, and you'd start looking, and all of a sudden you'd start to recognize this guy or that guy.
Really?
And
Same guys?
Same guys, but in different locations, you know. There's a very famous photo of a special forces guy out of uniform wearing I can't remember what they call it, but basically that head wrap that goes around the head, and then it's not a turban, but it's somewhat similar. Right. It goes down the back. He's riding a horse through Afghanistan with laden with guns.
Yeah, two-tapping his way through Afghanistan.
Exactly, but he was special forces, but you see that guy around here or there. So it's really interesting to start to root through their history and come to the present and start to see the same people over and over, and you're like, I'm pretty sure I'm looking at a Delta Force operator, somebody who doesn't exist, somebody who's a shadow, somebody who is basically the closest thing we have to a license to kill.
Sure.
Like, you don't send Delta Force in to rough somebody up.
No.
You send them in to completely slaughter everybody.
2 taps.
Hopefully Chuck and I will survive the night after recording this podcast.
I know.
We'll find out.
We just want to say we're glad these guys are out there. I mean, I much prefer Delta Force going in, a few guys doing something efficiently and quietly than sending in, 10,000 troops.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's much less clumsy, and it gets the job done, although, I'm quite sure there's several human rights activists that would disagree with us on that matter.
Yeah, Josh, I'm sure you're right. That's a good point.
Yeah, well, I'm sure the Delta Force would disagree with them, and I would not want to be the human rights activist.
No, thank you.
While we're sidestepping an international incident, don't forget to look up How Delta Force Works on HowStuffWorks.com.
Let us know what you think. Send an email to podcast@HowStuffWorks.com. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
You see it instantly. It's Coldwater Creek, the mark of exceptional workmanship and signature touches inspired by a Mountain West heritage. Distinctive styles created from quality fabrics, silhouettes perfected with just the right drape, feel-good fits offering ease of movement, and thoughtful details to elevate your look. Coldwater Creek's authenticity is embodied in every piece, embracing its confident spirit that carries through to today. Discover Coldwater Creek clothing, designed to fit your life the way you want. For a wardrobe you can count on season after season, visit coldwatercreek.com. Shop the new spring collection at 20% off $75 or more with code IHEART20.
Ever feel like your bedroom's shrinking? Don't worry, you don't have to sell your favorite things to make space. With IKEA Bedroom Storage Solutions, think dressers, wardrobes, full closet systems, even storage boxes. You can keep it all. Your vintage band tees? Safe. Those limited edition sneakers? Plenty of room. And yes, your childhood teddy bear gets a spot too. Don't sell what you love. Store it instead with IKEA Bedroom Storage Solutions. Shop now at ikea.us/bedroom storage.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.